Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Angela Brennan and today I'm bringing you a few easy cards to make with big dies and background stamps. Big dies are from the My Favorite Things Big Birthday Wishes die and the Lawn Fawn Giant Sending Big Hugs dies. Now when you use these sentiment dies, they're so big because they also have a background, so you can use the negative and the positive aspects of the die, so you get two cards out of it. And I use the Lawn Fawn Simple Stripes Landscape Portrait and Diagonal dies for the backgrounds. The backgrounds are inked with Distress Oxide inks. They are my favorite inks at the moment. They're so creamy and easy to put on the card. And the card I use whenever I do any kind of inking is, of course, the Strathmore Bristol Smooth Card, the 300 series. It just gets the ink onto it so easily, and it's nice and easy to do ink blending. Now I'm not doing so much ink blending here. I'm just applying one color on each card strip or card stripe, so it's easy to put them together. You can have lots of fun with this, with coming up with various different color combinations, and this is where your imagination comes in. You can do a same color with different values. You got your complementary colors, or whatever colors that you want to put together, you can give it a go. I really hope you enjoyed the video. A lot of it is self-explanatory, but towards the end of the video, what I do is I show you 3 ways that you can set your distress inks. It's probably ways you've seen before, but I'm just putting it together so you can remember how you can set your distress ink. So wait till the end to see 3 ways to do that. And I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And when you do subscribe, remember to press the notification bell so you're alerted when future videos are uploaded. Do head over to my blog where I have got close-up pictures of all the cards I've created and the colors of Distress Oxide inks that I've used on them, as well as links to all the products that I've used. The link to my blog is in the description below. In the meantime, I'm going to leave you with some music and I'll catch you later. The waffle flower A2 layers die and additional A2 layers die come in really handy for the cards I want to make when I want to cut out a perfect rectangle. So I use the waffle flower additional A2 layers to die cut this and die cut this, sending big hugs. I put it slightly higher because I want to stamp a sentiment at the bottom. I use the sentiment strips from Old to New, and here I like to mix and match. So I want to say sending big hugs on your birthday. I tape off the words on either side of on your, and I ink the on your and remove the tape and just stamp on your, and I do the same with the birthday where I tape off the happy and just stamped birthday, so you get on your birthday. And I wanted to read as sending big hugs on your birthday. I think doing this will get more out of your sentiment stamps, so you don't have to use only the sentiments that come with it, but you can mix and match and get the sentiment that you want. This is how I decide on the order of the colors that I'll put in the background, and this is for the 7 colors that go on the background for the Simple Stripes portrait die. Now when I'm doing this, I'm thinking maybe I should change the way I do my Distress Ink and Distress Oxide ink swatches. So if I have it in little squares or rectangles, and I can actually take those swatches and arrange it and see what order I want, rather than having to do it separately. Now this is something I'm going to look at, and when I do it, I will share my new swatches, how I'm going to store them and how I keep them, especially with the new Distress ink due to come out, or just came out actually, the Lumberjack plate. I haven't got it yet, but I like to keep them in order and see what is the color values for each of those colors. Like I think Lumberjack black plate is a red, and how that, where it will slit into the reds that are already available. Anyway, getting back to this card. So this is how I choose it, and again I make another background in the positive element of the sending big hugs. I put it on this, and I put a shadow on it as well. Well, I put it with another color, with a black, just so that it will stand out. I use thin foam strips on the back of the sentiment so give it some dimension. Now, in order to turn or to make the strips more pliable, remove the backing and it will be easier to make the strip pliable and curve around the B and the G so it fits well. I added some liquid glue on the back of the foam so it gives me some wiggle room when I'm applying it or when I'm attaching it onto the card. Now for the 3 ways where you can set your distress inks or distress oxide inks. I used the Strathmore Bristol Smooth Card from 300 series and I applied distress oxide, I think this is the peacock feathers, on 3 strips of cards. The first way is to just spray some water onto it and let it dry. You can let it air dry or you can let dry it with a heat tool. The second way is to, while the ink is wet, sprinkle it with some clear embossing powder and melt the embossing powder with a heat tool and it will become waterproof. The third way is to let the ink dry a little and apply Ranger's Distress Microglaze. This will make it waterproof. Use a foam applicator and an ink blending tool to apply it and just keep it just for microglaze for when you apply the microglaze onto any of your projects. And that's the 3 ways in which you can set your distress inks. I hope you found this useful. And if you think of any other way that you can set distress inks or distress oxide inks, do leave a comment below so I can learn as well as the others who watch this. These are the 3 ways that I know. If you know any other way, happy to hear from you. I really hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And when you do subscribe, remember to press the notification bell so you're alerted when a new video is uploaded. Do head over to my blog, and the link to my blog is in the description below, where you can see the products that I've used, color combinations, as well as the close-up of all the cards I've created. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you at my next video. Happy crafting!